So I'm telling you this because I'm not about lecturing you. I know what it is to struggle. I've been there. I've done the bad stuff. I know what it is to have addictive behaviors. I know what it is to know what you should do, to know it's taking your health away, to feel terrible and bad and powerless. I'm there to tell you that you can shift things around. I'm there to tell you that you can actually produce a change, that the past, your future doesn't have to be equal to your past. I'm about creating a change. So really my outcome here in this room is as you find yourself standing up at the end of the talk, you've changed in some ways. That's really the outcome, and I will do whatever it takes to do it. It's not about sounding smart, technical and stuff. It's about creating the change you're after, right? I don't take this spark you have lightly. What do we need? Often we think, all right, I need to change. I need to be resilient. My lifestyle is messed up right now. What do I need? And what I hear very often is, I need more time, which is another word for I need more motivation. And sometimes people say, I have no motivation, I need more motivation. Well, I believe motivation is very useful. That's the little spark you have. I believe without this you cannot do anything, but we live in a society that really worships motivation. We live in a society that worships voluntarism. But I'm here to tell you, that's not all, at all. Motivation alone brings you nowhere. Make this experience. Just watch and witness a fly trying to go through a window when it's closed. Never seen so much motivation in such a small being. Yet you know the outcome. Even if the window was always half open the whole time, it's going to be dry and dead by the end of the day. Motivation ain't enough. That's the motivation, that's the spark, but the spark will not going to last. If you try to change your life with motivation, it's just like trying to warm your meal with sparks. Will not work. Intellectual knowledge is potential power. Emotional knowledge is absolute power. Be honest to yourself. You say, if I know, but I don't do, I don't have a clue. You have no idea, right? Just to take an absurd example, but that way it will make sense. If you're not from this planet, you're an extraterrestrial, and you know nothing about cars, and I give you these cars, I say you can drive this car, but you know what? You should put some gas in it sometimes. It's really good for you. I'm the expert. Trust me, you should put some gas in it. So, sure enough, you take the car and you'll do it. You know, you listen. Intellectual knowledge, you apply. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, maybe the 4th time you realize, you know what are the chances of your motivation going down? Because it's actually just costing you time, energy, and money. You know you should do it, but sure enough, one day you'll not do it. And you find yourself breaking down in the middle of the road, saying, I know, but, and you have a nice excuse. So it's a pretty absurd example, I know it. But how absurd can we be as well, if we're honest to ourselves? Saying, I know, but, not taking care of your body, say, you know that if your body is not well, there's no way you can master your outcome at work, with your family, with your friend, whatever is your priority, but you don't do it. Or I know I should take care of the input, my fuel, my nutrition. Otherwise, how can I guarantee that I'm going to impact people? I can influence my life. You know it, but you don't do it. And sometimes you find yourself breaking down in the middle of the road saying, I know, but. So first step, I know, but. When you find yourself saying this, realize you don't have a clue, right? Now it's all about getting the right emotional knowledge so that we can actually make a change. And more than a change, because change, I believe you'll change anyway. You want it or not, you're going to change. Change is the only thing that actually never changes. Change is the only thing that is constant in this universe. Change is life. It happens all the time. Right now, I'm sorry, but you're aging. You're getting older. You're changing. But it's not about change, because if you're under tremendous pressure, you'll change, you'll adapt. But that's just called stress, reaction to stress. We don't want to do this. We want to reach a place where we are the master of our lives. We have some self-mastery so that we can not just adapt and change out of necessity, but we can create the new from scratch. No reaction, create the new behaviors. So if we struggle, I believe it's because we don't find an effective way to change our behaviors. Because when we talk about nutrition, movement, sport, whatever it is, it's about behaviors that we're talking about. You need to understand the behavior first. And the good news is we're going to be focused on, health behaviors, but that's something you can apply to any behaviors, because those are the exact same rules, right? You don't have a separation in your mind, health behaviors and just normal behaviors. So let's go a bit more in depth about what is a behavior, how it works, so that we can influence it. Need first to understand what it is, what influenced you already so that you can change it. You know, one of the core beliefs that I have that really enabled me to create the change I want in my life and to create changes in people's behaviors is really the core belief that we all have the same infinite strength and power that is behind all of our behaviors. That's something I choose to believe because it's fitting the reality quite well and it gives me power. So try to appropriate this belief to yourself, because the guy that is opening the third bag of chips in front of the TV at 3 a.m. and the guy that is waking up at 5 a.m. for the first morning run, both, if they wanted, they could not, restrain this behavior. Something that is way beyond their conscious will. And you would have to apply for both of them, both of those behaviors, a lot of energy to try to stop it. So the force behind it is very powerful, and it is the same. There is not one source for bad things and one source for good. We're just all the same. The difference is how we channel this. If you do something bad, it's not that you have to destroy your behaviors and create a new one from scratch that you don't have, but it's more that you understand that you're just channeling your potential in a way that is not functional, and instead of having lacking something, you just have to, boom, refocus it. And then, the power, uncontrollable force that was leading you to open this bag of chips is going to make you maybe work on your project, write this book, or work on your health, work on yourself. This is the magic. We worship motivation, so when you succeed, it's very flattering for the ego to say, I have this mind power and I have this stuff and stuff. I never believed that I was stronger than anyone with the things I have achieved. I just realized that, sometimes you find yourself doing the right thing and you just realize, wow, that's just automatic. I'm just programmed now. I'm conditioned to do this, to act and to behave this way. So the potential is the same. The way we channel it, that's what makes us different. To imagine raw power, electricity. If it goes through a light bulb, it gives you light. It goes through a heater, it keeps you warm. It goes through your screen, it gives you entertainment. It goes through a radio, you have sound. The same raw power that is channeled differently, that finds different kind of resistance, produce different results. But this is the same power, and this same power that can keep you healthy and warm in winter can kill you if you don't control it. But there's no judgment, it's just raw power. And what influences it is the map we have. How do we picture the reality? If you have a map from 100 years ago, you're going to bump into a lot of walls walking around. That's going to impact how you act. Conditioning, your education, how you condition yourself, how you let others and society condition yourself, that becomes then beliefs. That's going to also impact the way you can tap into your potential. The story you tell yourself impact drastically what you can use of your potential. And the bigger filter is, to me, the sense of identity you have. Your self-esteem, self-image, who you think you are. Because what you say after I am is incredibly powerful. You'll be ready to die to protect this. Even if it's something bad, even if it's irrational, even if it's not conscious, what you say after I am, you'll be ready to die to protect it. Because that's your sense of identity, and your brains want to protect that. Because if you change this, it's equal death. So why do we struggle to change it, the behaviors? Because the part of us that judge it's this conscious mind up there. It's not the part of us that actually produce the behaviors. That is the subconscious. And we struggle when we try to change the subconscious with the conscious. You try to apply this willpower. And I have a very bad news. You're fighting an unwinnable fight. You're never going to win. This is way beyond your strength. I don't care how strong you are mentally, you're always going to collapse and you're going to get, exhausted. That's the bad news. The good news, this giant you're fighting that is so strong, it's you. So if you can make friends with yourself instead of fighting it, you can become pretty much unstoppable. So that's the idea. Stop fighting. That's the first thing. So how come I can produce changes, I can produce behaviors that don't serve me? If that's my subconscious, easy dump. That it produces something that don't serve me, that makes me fat, right? That makes me look unhealthy, that makes me lose my health, that makes me don't go to the gym, whatever. The reason is, the thing you have between your ears, it's not designed to make you happy. It's not designed to make you happy. That's a 2 million years old survival mechanism that just wants you to survive. You can be in pain and terribly sad and unfulfilled. If you're surviving, that's a success. It will call it a success. That's why people they would rather stay in a pain they know than going for a reward they're not sure about. Because the pain, you know it's painful, but you know what's coming, so you have a sense of certainty, and you know you survive it. That's a success for your brain. If you can be lazy, laying down all day long doing nothing, that's a success. You know, in wild, if you had the chance to do that, that was pretty amazing. If you have the chance to eat a lot of fat and sweet stuff, that's a big success. So don't let this survival mechanism use you. Start to use it. That can become really an amazing tool. Believe it or not, even the bad behaviors you hate, it's actually serving you to some level. It's there to serve. Every behavior has a reason to be. Don't just judge it and fight it. Be a bit more grateful that it is there to serve you first. It is there to match your need, not your happiness. Happiness is not one of your needs again. But it's there to match your needs, and it always does. So you find yourself doing weird stuff, it's because you didn't find a way consciously to match your need in a proper way. So we have 6 human needs, that's universal. All the same for all of us. What makes us different is how we match them. Our beliefs about how we should match them. But we all have a need for certainty. We all need to feel like we control and know our world. Otherwise we get crazy. So the more uncertain the place becomes, the more you need to create it yourself. So you can either focus on yourself, who you are, and trust that, or you can make up a big fat problem that will create a sense of certainty because you control it. Diversity, we need surprises, some spice. You need to not just to feel like computers, that your life is worth living, some spice. Again, a big fat problem sometimes adds some spice. Significance, you need to be important. You need to feel a sense of individuality, like you have a sense of personality, you're important in some ways. That's human. Again, to have this big fat problem that no one can solve, that's a way to match this need sometimes. Love and connection and belonging. We need to feel love and connection. That's a human need. That's the 4 human needs that we match regardless, no matter what. Even if we do stupid things, we don't realize this is to match those needs. You don't feel needy, but you're going to match those needs. Even if it's things like, eating, it can match those needs unconsciously. It can be smoking a cigarette that can match those needs. Now you have 2 other needs that's more of the optional in the package. It's growth, progress. We need a sense of progress, otherwise we don't feel good. We need to feel that we're growing in some way and to feel like we are contributing beyond ourselves. So that's the 6 human needs that shapes all of our behaviors, and all of our behaviors are made to shape those, to match those needs. Just realize happiness is not one of your needs. It never was. So happiness to me is more a consequence when you match your needs elegantly. You match your needs in a way consciously that match your purpose and is aligned with your mission. But that's a consequence. Who would say that you don't just have, a one-time challenge in this, the lifestyle change you want to experience, or the thing that you struggle with, maybe your nutrition, your body, whatsoever. Who think it's not just a one-time problem, but it's more a one-time difficulty and challenge, but it's more something that is reoccurrent, that is persisting. Who feel it's more persistent? Yes. So that's what we call a problem. That's something that stays around. And when you have a problem, you can have difficulty, you can have challenges, life stuff. But when you have a problem, that's always something that somehow you nurture. You nourish it. It needs you to stay alive. I'm not saying that you don't deeply in your heart want it to stop. I'm not saying you don't actually suffer. But if you have a problem, it's because it somehow matches your needs. That's what we call a pattern. When you get caught in a pattern, a way of functioning that you don't like, it makes you miserable, but it matches your needs, so you'll keep it. And that happens when your problems, or the problem you think you have, you go for a solution, and it gives you more of the actual challenge, more of the actual problem, and you're in a loop. I'll give you an example to make it a little bit more concrete. I had once a young lady that was going through bulimia and anorexia. alternating both. That's quite common. And she had really those phases where she was very strict, hard, disciplined, eating only salads like crazy, training every day. And sure enough, she then had those big drops when she was diving, eating, reconnecting with herself through food, feeling depressed, going so deep, then she touched the threshold of pain and she can then go back up to be motivated, strong, determined, and to have this willpower, this resilience, and to go for what she thought was the solution. But she was actually in a loop. And she came to me because, that's what I say, the problem you have is the problem you think you have. That's always the case. When you have a problem, the problem you have is the problem you think you have. The problem she thought she had was that she needed more control on her nutrition. She needed me to help her with this. So I really understood that I could become part of her problem, not the solution, if I just respond to the demand. So I had to break the pattern. And that's the first step to change. Break the pattern, interrupt it. And I had her understand that actually she was very smartly matching all of her needs. Certainty. In her life, it was very uncertain. She didn't know what to do if she had to go through study or work. Parent divorced. So the only stable stuff she had was this cycle. She mastered it. Uncertainty, diversity, some spice. Well, you never know how deep you're going to go. So you have some spice. You never know what's going to happen, really. So you match this need. Then significance. She was the one with this problem. That was something important. She had conferences about it. Gives you a sense of significance. Love and connection. She gets to have help and more with food when she goes down. She can connect with herself through food. It's weird what we do to feel what we want to feel, but that's how we work as human beings. Then even progress. She felt like she was getting better at controlling it. She was doing some progress and growth. She was writing a book about it to help others to do it. So that's good. I mean, I told her, I know you want me to fight your problem with you, but that's going to be without me. If I'm there, I'm going to remove it. Do you really want that? Because that's a very smart way you had to match all of your needs. Do you really want to stop that? Do you really want me to remove this? And I really break the pattern, get her confused, made her think for the first time. Stop fighting and just realize that it's actually serving you at a deeper level. And she was committed to fight, but to give it up, not so much. So we had to do this work. And how do you change that? You find consciously better ways to match your needs. And that's what we did. See the big picture and understand that even the solution is become part of the problem. And the problem you have is the problem you think you have. And don't just become a problem solver, become a problem dissolver. That's what I do. People think I solve problem. I'm smarter than them. I can solve problem. Not at all. I just can see the big picture and help you not nurture and nourish your problem so that it dissolves naturally, so that you can actually focus not on fighting over solutions, but you can actually just let it die, focusing on being the antidote. If you're specific to nutrition, if you think of, what is your motivation if you want to change your nutrition, and you can take a moment, if you struggle with nutrition, your eating pattern, write it down. What is your problem? What would make you come to see a nutritionist? Why would you come to see me? What would motivate you? What do you think is your problem? And then what is your motivation? That's crucial. Because a lot of time, the problem people have with health behaviors is because they have superficial problems. It's always, this. Or, the fat there and there. Or, the picture I have in the mirror. That's the problem. And that's usually the case. Nothing wrong with this. But as long as you have those kind of superficial problems, you're going to have superficial motives for action, which leads to superficial motivation, which leads to superficial results. So you need to understand that the problem you have is the problem you think you have. Why diets and program never ever work? So first of all, who has ever, even just once, tried a diet? Yes. Now, honestly, who has miserably failed? Yes. That's normal. That's all right. Why it's not working is because instead of reprogramming your behavior from scratch, you are adding a new behavior that is called willpower, obeying to a program. But these new behaviors can only last for so long. And I hope for you it doesn't last, because that's not a life, to spend your life in obedience of something. I'm going to go over a few keys to change. It's not a to-do list, it's more a mindset. So key number 1, you break your pattern. You want to interrupt it, stop it, understand that the solution you go for, it's part of your problem. You want to see the big picture. You want to understand that if you don't do and you don't have a single clue, you don't know. Right? You stop fighting, because when you fight, you nourish it. Fight against war, you just add a new war, right? It's not solving anything. So you need first to stop nourishing it. So you can, do something absurd, change your physiology, ask yourself a new question, go to the forest, do something, but escape it. Don't try to find a solution, because you're in this loop, nothing will come from this way of thinking. If you want to become the creator of your life or your lifestyle, you need to first stop reacting to everything. There's no creation in reaction. And we tend to spend our life in reaction all the time. So just first do nothing. And doing nothing is better than being busy doing nothing. Just really do nothing, break the pattern. Then you stop identifying with yourself with it. Because what you say after the word I am, you'll be ready to die to protect it. So understand you are not it. You are the witness of it, which means you are beyond that. You are the creator of this. You are channeling those results. Stop identifying with it. That's very important. That's what will make you able to let it go. Case teaching number 3. Know what you want with clarity. Very often, what I get when people come to see me, they go like this. They go, oh, I have this problem for this period of time, and you know how much I hate this problem, and this problem is like this and like this and like that and like that. So I'm going to go, fine, I understand. So what do you want? Because, I'm paid to get them to where they want. And they said, well, I told you, I have, this big problem. I want to get rid of it. I don't want this problem and this. I have it since so long and stuff. And I say, all right, fine, but what do you want? And they start to be angry and say, you don't understand me. I just told you I want to get rid of this because I really hate that. I have this, they're expert on the problem, but they have no clue where they want to go. Positive language is important. Not positive in the sense of, new agey stuff. You need to think positive and it has to be pleasant. Not at all. It's just you have to speak the truth, because the language allows us to say things that does not exist, that, reflects no reality. You can talk of the absence of something. Never exists. There's no room that is not this room. You have a lot of rooms, but you never have the room that is just not this room. So if you just say, I don't want to be in this room anymore, you never find the room that is not this room. You need to know where you want to go. Coach actually comes from coachman, which is the guy that leads you to where you want to go. So you need to have this specific positive language. Just like you would take a cab, you would not just say, I don't want to be there anymore. I hate this place. It's because of my childhood. I tend to go to places I don't like and stuff. You just say, bring me there. That's where I want to go. And that sounds, very absurd to say this, so natural. But how many of you say, just, I want to get rid of this. I want to get rid of the fat. I want to stop being lazy, or I want to, lose the fat, just lose weight. Feel the change of saying, I want to be fit, Because of course the side effect is you're going to lose the fat if you get fit. And you have a clear picture, you have some goal. Your brain does not understand your fancy, weird language. Understand clear intention and emotion. So when you start to say, I want to get in shape, I want to be full of vitality, I want to be this and that, that creates some actual picture you can reach. That's very different. And use the leverage of a powerful vision. Instead of trying to push yourself to accomplish things, which is what we all do, we tend to set a goal. If this is where you are, and we want to set the goal, we want our lives to go in one direction, we want our life to be in a specific line. So we tend to set a goal there, and to reach it, we push ourselves to reach it, and we push ourselves to reach it. Another goal, we push ourselves. It's very exhausting. And you never really have a sense of, you can feel lost all the time. You don't really see the big picture and where you're going, where are you heading to. Well, you know where you are, and what a vision does is it's helping you to trust, to put this nice line. Because if you want to make a beautiful line, you need 2 dots. One is not enough. You need 2 dots. And if you want it to be precise, you need the dot to be quite far away. So the vision is this very far away dot that you trace there, not to reach it, but just to have a direction. so that now you know where you're heading to. Now you can, if you want, add some few goals. But in terms of health, it's not so much about goal setting, it's just understanding you're going into this path of never-ending improvement. So it's just about knowing your vision so that you don't have to push yourself, but you actually pulled to get the result. You have something to visualize positively. You have an intention and an emotion you can really think of, and it's pulling you to reach it. You don't have to push yourself like this. This is very ineffective. You get tired, you don't get no result. And the worst, you don't want to find yourself in this place, and this is what happened to a lot of us, is you know where you are, and to trace your line, you focus on the point. Imagine your vision is there. That's where you want to go. That's your dream. You don't, maybe you're not aware of it, but that's it. And to trace your line of your life, you focus on something that was in the past. You know, I was there in the past, I'm here now, so that's how it should be. That's a pretty terrible place to be in, right? So the past is not, the future doesn't have to be equal to the past. So powerful vision is very important. You can write it down now. What powerful vision you could have that is stayed in the positive and that gives you a clear idea of what you want to achieve. You know, like the best version of yourself, that you might never reach it, but what are you about in this beautiful vision? What are you about? What is the energy like? You know, what do you feel? What do you think of your body at this moment when you're at your peak, you're at your best? Where are the problems about health in this head? You know, that's the vision. So just, you can write two keywords so that you can reach anytime you want to this vision. And then the rest become obvious. The line is, you know where you're heading to. Then you can set some goals along the line and enjoy the process. Because you can be in hell. If you know you're going to paradise, you're going to have a smile on your face. And you can be in paradise, but if you feel lost and you believe and you fear to lose your place in paradise, you're going to be in trouble. Know your vision and have it in your heart right now. It's going to give you the direction. And even if you're in hell right now, you know you're going to paradise, you're going to smile. Key number 4. Be willing to give up the hold. So that's pretty obvious. But that's not so natural. That's not something we do. Remember, your behaviors are serving you. They are there for you. They are matching your needs. Even if you don't like them. Even if it's just leading you right into the wall. Even if it's taking away your health. Even if you're miserable. You do what you do, it's matching some of your needs. Even if you're not a needy person. So just take the moment to realize that you actually have those needs. And acknowledge the fact that it's actually serving you. So that now, instead of just cutting off the old pattern, instead of just fighting the old behaviors, you can match the needs in a new way. Because a lot of people just get rid of the behaviors without finding a new way to match the needs. So you're going to go for new behaviors that's going to be maybe even worse. So realize it's there to match some needs. Even if it's an addictive behavior, it's really something nasty, match some needs. Make you feel significant. And there you need to be deadly honest with yourself. Abruptly honest with yourself. No, that's what I've done in my life. I really looked myself in the eye and said, all right, you do this because that makes you feel like this. Oh, that's hard to admit, but that's it. So how can I find a better way, a more elegant way to match this need? Then you try it. If it doesn't work, you find another one. So acknowledge the benefit of the current situation. That's hard to do. That's the hardest part. You know, you have this big problem, you complain about it, but what are the benefits of it? What do you get out of it? Do you get some connection? Do you get some sense of love? People are caring about you? Do you get a sense of significance? Does it create certainty? Well, maybe. And if I need that, what else can I do to match those needs? So choose more elegant ways to match them. Now, the black box experience, which leads us to the key number 5. That's something I do in my workshops. I usually have, this black box with something black, you don't see what's in there. And I ask someone to come. And I make them believe it's a magic trick. So I just have them, seamless action, I have them to put their hand just to check it's the real box, put their hand in and back. Everybody do it, really, it's easy, relax, nice, easy peasy, no big deal. And then I say to them, I've manipulated you. I made you believe that's something easy to do and you've done it easily. But actually there are snakes in the box. And then I ask the person to do it again. Can you please put the hand again? Usually I choose a lady for some reason. And you can imagine the kind of language, you can imagine the kind of behaviors. You can have some tension there. You can have a completely different behaviors. So behavior has changed in 30 seconds. Same potential, same story, same parents, same childhood, same IQ, same everything. Behavior 1, behavior 2, changed forever. What the only thing that has changed? Even the box, then I showed to them there was nothing all the way. It was empty. Even the box has not changed. What has changed? Yes, the way they perceive reality, your map. If you change your map, you're going to change naturally your behavior. And I cannot stress the importance of this. Because when I do my workshop on nutrition, actually, I just focus on this. I just change people's map. You get a more functional map, you're going to get more functional moves. You're going to act more functional. If I believed what you believed about nutrition, there's no way I would do different than you. You're doing the best you can with what you know. Understand how this body works, this marvelous piece of biology works. Understand how nutrition works and the interaction of both, and you can play with this. So, update your map. Update your map, that's critical. If there's something you don't master right now, understand you don't have a clue. Update this map, because you're smart people. If your subconscious mind get the information, get the map, it's not just there, goes down to something emotional, it will make you act differently, because it's not dumb actually, it's more smart than you think. And when you really know something, you'll act accordingly. Not intellectually, but emotionally. So, we said that we need to break the pattern, and very often the problem with health behavior is that we have superficial motivation. So a more functional motivation, it would be to understand, right, that your body is the main and the only, everything you will ever live and you have ever lived was through your body. So if it's not, at its best, how can you possibly be at your best? Now it's all about health, isn't it? If you don't master the input, your nutrition, how can you possibly, even if you focus on, your priority in life is career, is to impact people, it's fine, it's great. But if you don't control the input, how can you control the output? So, and to understand that, health is so much more than just calories and restriction. Just to limit and reduce nutrition to calories, like reducing music to decibels. It's really obscene. Makes no sense. That's so much greater than this. It's so much more complex that, when you have those kind of purpose and goals, your action would change. So you say that health actually should be your main outcome, isn't it? So health is quite very important, we would agree. Health is therefore perfectly useless. Oops, did I break your pattern right now? It's perfectly useless. And that's why you're not motivated to get it. Health for health, that's a problem. If you're just motivated for health, I don't think it's healthy. It's called fear of death, right? That's not healthy at all. Someone that is just committed to be healthy, that's a big issue. You should come to see me. Understand, there's nothing wrong with you not being motivated with this. I don't believe you should be as motivated and passionate about health and physiology and psychology as I am. I'm a weirdo. And I'm really passionate with this so that you don't have to. That I can share with you the key elements and you can focus on your thing. You'll never be motivated with this, so stop feeling guilty. We always say, you should do this, you should be motivated. That's the worst thing that can happen to you. You're going to feel so guilty, so bad. Understand that's fine. Health is useless. That is just a means to get stuff. That is your very vehicle to go for your mission, your passion, what you like, your hobbies, what you want. This is the very vehicle, very means to get to experience what you want to experience, to get to your dreams, to do what actually moves and drives you already. Isn't it? Health in an empty room alone, it's useless. So that's why you need, for key number 6, to create a strong enough why. You need to create a strong enough why. Health, you can rationalize that it's important. It's never going to be motivating. It's never going to be as motivating that the things that are already moving you. You're getting up in the morning, you're doing stuff already. you are committed to things already. You have your behaviors that are going in some direction already. So take a moment just right now, to write a list of, you write, what is life about for me? 5 things, 5 to 10 things, just now. Number 1 thing can be vitality, can be love, can be career, can be finances, can be impacting others, can be, you choose, can be friends. What is the thing that is already moving you? Then you go to number 2. What is the second thing that is really impacting and shaping all of your behaviors and all of your life already? As your kid, is it spirituality? Is it religion? Is it fame? Whatever. Respect. Then the third one, same. What is very, very important on the third place? What is life about? My friends, my community. And 4, same. 5, same. And just make a list like this, and you can keep doing this exercise when you're done. You can keep thinking of that. That's what is already shaping your behaviors. And now what I want you to do is to understand that if you are literally what you eat, if the input you put in your mouth as the nutrition determines everything you are made of, this is the very thing that creates all of your action. It is behind and beneath all of your action. It is your energy. It even impacts, your nutrition impacts drastically your mood, your psychology. All the neurotransmitter and the chemicals that happen in there comes from your food. The way you move impacts your psychology. Actually, your mind is not just a product of your brain, that's a product of the whole body moving. That's why emotions are created with motion. So if you have a body like this, what are the chances you're going to have the right mindset? What are the chances you're going to do good with your family? What are the chances you're going to do good at work? What are the chances you're going to influence and help other people you cannot even help yourself? So now you make as many links as you can with those very things that motivate you. Your family, your kid, your work, your passion, regardless of what it is. You make as many links with nutrition. Why is it not just I should do it? Why I must do it? No, I'm going to work, I don't have time to eat. What is my outcome? I want to perform, I want to impact them. So I should eat. I go 5 minutes late, but that way I'm sure I create the outcome. Why do I eat personally? Why do I eat right, healthily? Well, of course, I have the pleasure to do it because I have a map, wide enough and functional enough map so that I have pleasure to nourish my body. But also, I do it because now I want to impact you. I moved well this morning so that I know I can be in the best possible stance so that I can try to impact you a little bit because I already influenced me. That's what motivates me. That's what drives me. Never health for health. I'm not afraid to die at this point. Right? So that's critical. Link a lot of pain to the status quo of not doing it and focus on what you can actually control. What you put in your mouth, how you move your body. Number 7, embody the solution. So I like this one. So instead of fighting the problem, you become the antidote, you become the solution. You get out of it, you stop identifying with it, and now you choose. You choose a new person, a new identity. You will still not identify with it, but you're going to play with it for a moment. And you choose a new way to express yourself. A new way you want people to react to you. You know, a new way to match your needs. And you don't get what you want, you get what you become. The last one, and that's my favorite, and that's a bit of the paradox of the change, is the price is the price. Now, that's the first time I do it in English, and I like it because it sounds amazing. Now, the price is the price. And that's the paradox, and that's when it's not so much only a science of change, it becomes an art. The art of understanding what you really know, what you really want, and embodying the change right now. Don't wait. Don't wait for the side effect to show up to be the person you want to be. Quickly, it's the story of the fisherman. I love this story. So it's about a businessman, very successful at what he does, self-made man, amazing guy, recognized worldwide, and he's on vacation for a couple of weeks in a beautiful island by the beach. And he's walking on the beach one day in the middle of the day, and he finds a fisherman having a nap by his boat. And the businessman is a bit of a philanthropist, and he feels, you know what, I'm paid millions to give advice, but here I'm going to do it for free. That's my little thing. That's my little gift. And he goes to the fisherman and he said, you're taking a nap. Everybody's fishing. You should go out there, be more competitive, right? The fisherman don't even take off his hat. He's sleeping, taking a nap, and just say, why would I do this? And so the business guy said, he has no clue. Wow. If you go fish, you're going to have for sure more money. You can, get more money out of that, more profit. And the fisherman says, why would I do this? Why would I want that? And the businessman, start to feel like disagree with the attitude and says, well, if you have more money, then you can invest in a better boat, and you can get even more fish. Then you can get employees and even more money, right? That's called business. You need to have some ambition, right? And the fisherman says, yeah, well, I understand, but why would I do this? Still even not looking at him. So the businessman get a bit angry and pissed, and he said, get some ambition. You could be someone that succeed like me. You could be someone that, is successful at what he does, and you could, just enjoy yourself, go on vacation, and just, enjoy life. And the fisherman just take off his hat, just look at him and says, what do you think I was doing? So I love this story because that's really the paradox. We have a lot of rules of what we need to have and in what order so that we can feel what we want to feel. And if we're bad at knowing what we want, is because most of the time we already have it. And what we want, if I ask you what you really want, can be regardless of the health, what you want. If I ask you what you want, you can tell me, for example, I want a car. I want a specific car, for example. So you'll tell me you want a car because it's beautiful. So you go there, it's beautiful. And then I tell you, well, what do you want? Well, I dream of this car since I'm a kid, and so it means a lot to me. And so if I keep asking, what do you want? At the end of the day, you get to this answer, it will make me feel good. I will get a certain emotion out of it. So at the end of the day, you get the emotion there. So what we want beneath everything we actually want, and you can try to challenge me on this. Think of it. Everything you want, the body you want, everything. The car, the job, the title, everything you want. It's just because we are emotional beings and we think we're going to get an emotion out of it. That's the only thing we're after. We think we're going to feel good. So we want things not for things, but we want them because we think they're going to give us some sort of emotion. But there's never any car that just slaps you in the face and gives you an emotion. There's never no bodies that will give you an emotion. You will not receive it from the outside. At the end, it's always you saying, I have this, and this. I can feel good. But that's always yourself that produces the result. So you need to understand it's not the final prize, the emotion. It's actually going in a loop. So you're there, you want this, and this, and this, and this, and you go back to the beginning. And what you want is actually just an emotion. You want an emotional state. We're emotional beings. We act emotionally, and we are after emotions. And the magic of it is the emotion, you can feel them right now. So if you ask yourself, in my vision, why do I want to feel? Why do I want it? Because I want to feel what? What kind of emotion do you want to experience? And that's the key. Once you find what is the exact emotion you want to feel it right now. Feel it right now. Because if you master your emotion, you master your life. And getting in the right emotional state is crucial. That's actually 90% of the battle. Getting in the right emotional state. When you're in the right emotional state, you had those days when you feel so good, the answers just flows through you, you're doing well. And there are those days where you're confused, everything is shaking and you don't even remember your own phone number. That's about your state of mind, the emotional state you are in. And 90% of the battle is to reach this emotional state. It's nothing to do with the to-do list I show you. This is then the attitude. Then you're going to find the right action. Then you're going to have the right drives. Then you're going to do the right things. Then you're going to tap in the right part of your brain, the right potential when you're in the right emotional state. And that's something you can already control. That's something you have Absolute control over, that's something you produce anyway. Don't wait for the mirror to make you feel confident. Start confident. Start confident in your head. Then let the reflect in the mirror satisfy you. Start fit and healthy in your head. Then let your body get shaped by your behaviors. Those are side effects. So it's really the number one key. And that's what I like, because that's really the paradox of it. If you want to change, you have to change now. You have to take what you think you want, and you have to put it right now in your body. You have to put it right now in your heart. You have to become greater than your environment and not feel what you feel because something happened, because you're always going to be in reaction. But start to create the new, and it starts with an emotion. And at the end of all those keys and all those, this to-do list that you will do to change your behaviors, you want to achieve something, you want to achieve the success you're after, and ultimately this is not even a key, because that's even beyond the keys. If you don't have this, that nothing will be worth doing. What is the thing that actually makes achievement exist? What is the one thing that makes performance and success exist? The one thing. It's not willpower, knowledge. Oh, think of it. What is it? I ask you a question so that you can answer this one. Pay attention to that. If you have a beautiful, magnificent forest, but there is no one in there, not even an animal, not an insect, no one near, and you have this big tree that falls in this forest, what sound does it make? No sound. Sounds need your cooperation. Sound to exist need a ear and a brain to process it. That's what you call a sound. Without it, this is just vibration. There's nothing to do with the sound. It doesn't exist. Well, now, how can success and achievement exist without gratitude? Never satisfied. If we just take the moment to feel gratitude and grateful for what we've done, then we make it exist. Before that, that's just a thing that happened. Make it a success, you need to feel gratitude. You need to change your emotional state. And now, to finish with, I'd like to do a little exercise with you. I'd like to have you experience and taste already right now, because my promise is you change. And I hope you had already quite a few little mind shifts that are the seeds of change that will maybe slowly unfold through the days, become new visions, new perspective, become new choices, new decision, maybe new opportunities, and ultimately new destinies. But now I just want to give you a little taste of that, of an exercise to actually go through this number 8 key of change, to actually embody it right now today, right? And to do this, we're going to use a bit of this emotion that is the antidote, the gratitude, because you cannot feel grateful and angry at the same time. You cannot feel grateful and peace at the same time. You cannot feel grateful and fearful at the same time. That's the magic of it. So if you want to break your emotional pattern, that's one way. There's many, but that's one way. That's going to change your focus. That's going to change your physiology. That's going to change everything. That's a little exercise you can do whenever you want. And that's actually the price to pay to get the prize. To get the prize already. No, like the fisherman, he gets the prize. He's on the beach, he has the sun, it's fine. Stop believing for just a second that you need all this stuff to feel what you want. And so this exercise is just a little kind of relaxation. So we're just going to first break your pattern by taking a few deep breaths, changing your physiology. And then we're going to just close our eyes, and I'm going to just guide you through some things you can then do later on your own, just to feel it. Before you start, remember the keywords you had for your vision. Remember this so that you can access it. Just thinking of those words, you have the picture, you can access it. Think of your vision right now before you start. All right, are you ready? So we're going to just breathe. What a concept. Breathe in and out with the mouth, in with the nose, out with the mouth. And as I go up, you breathe in, out. And try to move your belly, try to engage your body in, out. And just keep breathing this way. That's really a way to get your nervous system in sync, to equalize the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system together. Just keep breathing in and out deeply. And now take one last big breath in. And let it all out. And as you let it all out, you can find yourself closing your eyes and completely relax. Just close your eyes and relax. And as you find yourself here, just relaxing, forgetting for just a little bit of time where you are, just focus inside, not outside. Just pay attention. Don't try to control it. Just pay attention to your breathing. Pay attention to all the things that happen in your body right now that you're normally not aware of it, like the weight on your chair, the warmth of your body, where it is, your pace of breathing that you realize now as you get yourself to relax, that it might just slow down even more. And now as you find yourself completely letting go and relaxing, I just want you to place your two hands on your heart, to feel your heart. Take just a moment to feel the beauty of your heart. This is something that was given to you. You had to do nothing to earn it. And as long as it beats, you stay alive. Feel the beauty of these things. Realize that you have right now tens of trillions of cells that are working together so that you can just be alive right now in this moment. Just for you to be here. Nothing more is needed, really. And feel the power, the beauty, the power, the strength of this heart in your chest. And let it really fill yourself with gratitude for this beautiful, the most magnificent gift, the gift of life. And now, as you keep relaxing there, keep feeling the strength of your heart, I just want you to look for a moment in your memory. It can be a few days ago, can be 10 years ago, doesn't matter. Just find a memory where you felt completely loved and loving. Just reach to a moment like this. Take a little moment to find a specific moment where you felt completely loved. It can be something very simple, but very deep. And once you find this moment, I want you just to step into this moment. Now you're there. Feel what you felt then. See what you saw then. Hear what you were hearing. Step in your body at this very moment like you see it through your own eyes right now. Let it flow into your body. Feel the emotion. Own it. And now on top of this emotion, I want you to find another moment, a moment where you felt full of vitality in your body, full of energy or drives. It can be something silly, something very simple, but you felt like this vitality, this energy, you were unstoppable. Just saw what you were seeing then. See what you were seeing at this moment. Really live it just like it's happening right now. Feel the emotion of this moment and let it go in your body and amplify it right now. Make it double. Feel it moving into your body. And now on top of that, I want you to find a moment, you can call it a coincidence, a moment you didn't create, where you met someone that maybe changed your life. Didn't create this, and yet you find a beautiful soul and it changes your life. Feel the grace of it. Step into this moment and feel it again. And put it on top of those emotions. Feel it going through your body. Breathe the way you were breathing then. And on top of those emotions, I want you now to reach to your vision with all those emotions in your body that you can now amplify if you want. Reach to this place like you are here right now, today. You are this person. Feel what you will feel then. See what you will see. Hear what you hear. Tell yourself what you will tell yourself at this very moment, and feel the power of this emotion now running through your body. Feel it, own it. Make it real, because it is. And just take a moment to appreciate the beauty of those emotions, and let it flow through your body, through all of your cells. And now just take a moment to breathe into this powerful emotion. Your power of making it real right now in your body. Enjoy that. And breathe in one last time deeply, and really own it. Absorb those emotions. Make it yours. Now it's you. And as you breathe out and you open your eyes, you come back right here, right now. And you're back in the room with me. Now, look around you. Still in the same place. Still in the same room. Look at your body, still the same. So, nothing has changed. Really? Or everything has changed? Because you've changed right now. You've become greater than the environment for just a second. And how a beautiful price to pay that it is. You just have to feel good already. Start fit, then let your body convince you. Start confident, then let the mirror make you happy. But start here, otherwise you'd spend your life in reaction. And just a few words now to finish, and I'm already almost done. So just to finish now, I'm really pleased to be able to maybe have an impact on you, give you a little insights on how you can change, and more than this, on how you can have a little bit more kindness with you, understanding how you work, understanding you do the best, the very best of your abilities now. So you can have a bit more of compassion with yourself. And you have now the keys to produce the changes you want, knowing that you're greater than any of your circumstances. And you can impact now others just by focusing on you first. You can become great influencers, great leaders, not by motivating others, repeating what you know we should all do, but you can lead by example. You can inspire. That is way more powerful. And also, the last thing I want to share with you is the mystery and the beauty of life and health. You know, as I've been studying this, the beauty of our physiology, the beauty of our body, the beauty of our health and this life force, I realized that it's not so much something that happened for us only. Health and life is not something that happened really for us. It's really something that happened through us, for others. That's really something that happened through us so that we can serve our purpose, so that we can go after what is our mission here. So that's because that's really what life does. It's life serves life. And if you can find yourself in a place of you become a servant of life, you always have health and life backing you up. I find it to be true. So the healthiest advice I can give you is to be aligned. That what you have in your heart is what you speak with your mouth, and it's what you do with your time and energy. So now I wish you to be healthy. I wish you to be you. I hope I could have served you, and don't settle for a change. go for a revolution. Thank you very much.